Have you ever pondered why certain changes in your body seem to creep up without warning? You wake up one day, look in the mirror, and something feels different. Maybe your favorite shirt doesn't fit quite right anymore, your balance seems a little off, or you notice a scent that wasn't there before. These changes aren't just small annoyances, they are clear warning signs of aging that every older man should take seriously. Aging is a journey, but ignoring certain red flags could mean the difference between a long, healthy life and one filled with struggles. Doctors warn that some of these signs are not just cosmetic, they indicate underlying health risks that can impact your mobility, independence, and overall well-being. Let's dive straight into 4 crucial signs of aging in men that demand your attention. 1. The silent alarm, the smell of aging. Have you ever noticed an unfamiliar scent clinging to your clothes even after a fresh shower? Maybe you've caught a faint, musty aroma in the air when putting on a clean shirt or stepping into a room. At first, you might dismiss it. Perhaps it's your detergent, the fabric of your clothes, or even the weather. But what if that scent is actually coming from you? This is not about poor hygiene. It's not about cologne or the soap you use. It's a biological marker of aging, and for many men, it's the first silent alarm the body gives, signaling deeper changes beneath the surface. Scientists have identified a compound called non-enal, an odor that forms when fatty acids in the skin oxidize over time. Unlike typical body odor caused by sweat and bacteria, non-enal is different. It's subtle yet persistent, resistant to regular soaps, and lingers on fabrics no matter how many times they are washed. What makes this phenomenon particularly unsettling is that most men don't notice it themselves. You may go about your day completely unaware, but others, family, friends, even strangers, might pick up on it. It's been described as slightly waxy, like old paper or even like wood. Some dismiss it as just another quirk of getting older, but in reality, it's a sign of oxidative stress in the body, an internal shift that can indicate declining cellular function. Oxidative stress is not just about skin changes. It's a process linked to some of the most serious age-related diseases, including heart disease, neurodegenerative conditions, and metabolic disorders. If left unchecked, it can accelerate other signs of aging, making the skin weaker, reducing elasticity, and even contributing to chronic inflammation. Perhaps the most troubling part is how unnoticed this change can be. You don't feel it happening, it doesn't hurt. It sneaks up quietly, revealing itself only in fleeting moments. An unexpected comment from a grandchild, a lingering scent on an old jacket, or a subtle shift in how people react when standing close. But here's the truth. This is not something you have to accept as an inevitable consequence of aging. What if you could slow down this internal oxidation process? What if you could take control of how your body ages, not just externally, but at the deepest cellular level? Because while aging is inevitable, how we age, how we feel, how we move, how we carry ourselves is something we can influence. And the next sign of aging is even more visible, more challenging to ignore. It's something that doesn't just affect how you see yourself, but how the world sees you. Let's talk about it. 2. The expanding waistline, more than just extra weight. One day you pull on your favorite pair of pants only to find they don't button as easily as they once did. The fabric feels tighter around your waist. The fit not quite as comfortable as before. You tell yourself it's just a little weight gain, something natural, something to be expected with age. But deep down, a quiet concern lingers. For many men, the expanding waistline seems to appear overnight, yet it's the result of years of gradual changes beneath the surface. It's not just about eating too much or moving too little, it's about the silent shifts happening in your metabolism, your hormones, and even your muscle mass. As testosterone levels decline with age, the body's ability to maintain lean muscle diminishes. Since muscle burns more calories at rest, its loss means that even if you eat the same foods and do the same activities as you did in your 40s or 50s, your body now stores more of it as fat, especially around the midsection. But this isn't just an aesthetic change. A growing waistline is a warning sign, a red flag for serious health risks that extend far beyond the mirror. The fat accumulating around your abdomen isn't like the fat stored elsewhere on your body. It's called visceral fat, and it doesn't just sit beneath the skin, it wraps itself around your organs, infiltrating your liver, pancreas, and even your heart. This type of fat is metabolically active, releasing harmful inflammatory chemicals that raise blood pressure, increase cholesterol, and disrupt insulin function. It's no coincidence that men with larger waistlines have a significantly higher risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. What's most alarming is how deceptively gradual this process is. At first, it's just a few extra pounds. Then, small adjustments, loosening the belt a notch, switching to looser shirts, become routine. The changes are slow, almost imperceptible, until one day, movements that were once effortless feel heavier. Bending over to tie a shoe becomes a bit more difficult. A round of golf feels a little more exhausting. The energy that once carried you through the day begins to fade, replaced by a sluggishness you can't quite explain. Yet, the danger of visceral fat isn't just in how it affects your body, it's in how it affects your mind. The more this hidden fat accumulates, the higher the likelihood of memory problems and brain fog, as studies now show strong links between abdominal obesity and dementia risk. The very weight around your waist may be quietly influencing not just how you move, but how you think. This isn't just about looking better, it's about preserving your independence, your vitality, and your ability to fully engage in life. But the next sign of aging is even more unexpected. It's a change that doesn't just affect the way you feel. It alters the way you physically appear, a transformation so gradual that most men don't notice it until it's already happened. And once it does, there's no turning back. Let's talk about it. 3. The ears that keep growing, a surprising sign of aging. One day you catch a glimpse of yourself in an old photograph. Maybe it's from your wedding day, a vacation years ago, or even a casual snapshot taken when you were younger. You study your face, remembering the man you were then, but something else catches your eye, something you can't quite put your finger on at first. Then it hits you. Your ears look different, larger, longer, as if time itself has stretched them, reshaping a part of you that once seemed unchanging. It's an unsettling realization. Unlike gray hair or wrinkles, which develop gradually and often feel like natural markers of age, the slow but steady growth of ears is something few people talk about. Yet it happens to every man. Science confirms that cartilage, the flexible tissue that gives shape to your ears, never stops growing. Unlike bones, which harden and set, cartilage continues to expand and sag as the years pass, especially as gravity pulls it downward. What was once firm and proportionate in youth takes on a new shape, subtly changing the way you look. But there's more to this transformation than just appearance. The gradual breakdown of collagen and elasticity in the skin doesn't just affect your ears. It's a reflection of wider aging processes happening throughout your body. The same forces that cause your ears to grow are also affecting your joints, your muscles, even your internal organs. The loss of skin firmness and the weakening of structural support aren't just cosmetic concerns, they contribute to mobility issues, joint pain, and slower recovery from injuries. For some men, this change is barely noticeable. For others, it becomes a source of self-consciousness, a quiet reminder that time is moving forward whether they like it or not. The way your face once framed itself in the mirror shifts, subtly altering how others perceive you, even how you perceive yourself. Some men joke about it, shrugging off the change as just another part of getting older. But beneath the humor, there's often a deeper feeling, a moment of realization that the body is aging in ways that can't be ignored. And yet, this sign of aging isn't just about cartilage, it's a signal of something even more serious. A transformation happening not just in the face, but in the strength of the body itself. Because while ears grow larger with age, there's another part of the body that's doing the exact opposite. A part that, once it begins to shrink, affects everything. Your movement, your balance, even your ability to stay independent. And for most men, it's the last thing they expect. Let's talk about it. 4. Shrinking calves, a dangerous sign of muscle loss. At first, you don't notice it. Your legs have carried you through life without a second thought, walking, standing, climbing stairs, driving, golfing. But one day, something feels different. Maybe you catch a glimpse of your reflection and your calves don't look as full as they once did. Maybe you notice that getting up from a chair takes a little more effort. Or perhaps, without realizing it, you've started using the handrail every time you take the stairs. It's subtle at first. Then slowly it becomes undeniable. Calf muscles aren't just about appearance, they are the foundation of movement, balance, and strength. Every step you take relies on them. Every time you stand up, shift your weight, or catch yourself from stumbling, they are working quietly in the background, keeping you stable and strong. But as you age, these muscles begin to shrink, a process known as sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. Unlike weight gain, which can creep up unnoticed, muscle loss doesn't just change how you look, it changes how you function. For many men, this decline starts in their 60s but becomes more apparent in their 70s and beyond. The loss of muscle isn't just due to aging itself. It's compounded by reduced physical activity. You may still walk every day, but walking alone isn't enough to keep these muscles strong. Without direct resistance or strength training, they begin to deteriorate, growing weaker over time. And when they do, the effects ripple through every part of your daily life. The first signs are small: a slower pace, a little less stability, a bit more fatigue. But as the calves weaken, the consequences become far more serious. Falls become more likely, and the risk of fractures, particularly hip fractures, skyrocket. Studies show that men who lose significant muscle mass in their legs are not just at greater risk of injury, but also face a higher likelihood of losing their independence. And here's the truth most people don't talk about: muscle loss is directly linked to longevity. The strength of your legs is one of the strongest indicators of how long and how well you will live. A man with weak calves doesn't just struggle with movement, his metabolism slows, his circulation weakens, and even his brain health is affected. The body is an interconnected system, and once one part begins to deteriorate, the rest follows. It's easy to assume this is just another part of aging, something that can't be helped. But the reality is, muscle loss is not inevitable. It's preventable, even reversible with the right approach. And what's at stake isn't just strength, it's independence, confidence, and the ability to keep doing the things you love. But there's an even bigger picture here. Because aging isn't just about individual changes, it's about how they all connect. The scent of time, the growing waistline, the lengthening ears, the weakening legs, each one tells a story. A story of resilience, of adaptation, and of choices. And the question now is, what choices will you make next? The unspoken truth about aging, a call to action. Aging isn't just about looking older. It's about how you feel, how you move, and how you experience life. It's about waking up in the morning with the same sense of purpose and vitality that once felt effortless. It's about maintaining the strength to stand tall, the energy to keep doing the things you love, and the resilience to face each day with confidence. But the truth is, aging isn't passive. It doesn't just happen to you. It is shaped by the choices you make, the habits you form, and the awareness you bring to the changes happening in your body. The signs may appear slowly: an unfamiliar scent lingering on your skin, a waistline that expands despite your best efforts, ears that seem to stretch further with time, legs that don't carry you quite as effortlessly as they once did. Each of these changes tells a deeper story, a story of what's happening inside your body at a level most people never think about. The gradual shifts in muscle mass, metabolism, circulation, and cellular health don't just affect how you look, they determine how well you live. For many men, the hardest part isn't the physical changes. It's the realization that time is moving forward and the body they once knew is no longer the same. But this is where the choice comes in. Will you allow aging to dictate the course of your life, or will you take control? Because while you can't stop time, you can slow down its effects. You can build strength instead of losing it. You can fuel your body with what it truly needs instead of what's convenient. You can stay engaged, active, and sharp instead of letting the years pass you by. There is nothing passive about longevity. The men who age well, who remain strong, mobile, and independent, are the ones who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. They are the ones who choose movement over stillness, strength over fragility, and awareness over ignorance. They recognize that the small choices they make each day, what they eat, how they move, how they care for their bodies, will determine not just how long they live, but how well they live. The greatest tragedy of aging isn't getting older. It's realizing too late that you had the power to change its course. Right now, at this moment, you still have that power. The question is, what will you do with it? These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.